More telescopes do not mean less mystery. The opposite idea is seductive. If you multiply the eyes on the sky, the shadowy zones should retreat like mist in the sun. And in many ways, the last century seems to confirm that intuition, because every technological leap has shifted the boundary of the visible and turned points into galaxies, lines into chemical elements, noise into signals. But there is a constraint that makes this confidence unstable. The cosmos does not hide its secrets only because it is distant. It hides them because they are often scattered, rare, fleeting, and above all because their effect is not a light to be gathered, but a distortion to be measured. This is where the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope changes the grammar of observation. It does not try to outdo the James Webb in the realm of extreme depth, in isolating a single fragment of the universe pushed to the limits of the infrared. Roman plays a different game. Its strength is the wide field, the ability to turn the sky into a statistical laboratory, where populations matter more than individual specimens, maps more than portraits. This reversal is counterintuitive. To understand dark energy, dark matter, accelerated expansion, you might think you need to go ever farther. Instead, you need to see more, everything at once, and repeat the measurement until error gives way. Roman has been completed and is aiming for a 2026 launch, with a window indicated as early September, toward the second Lagrange point, where shadow and temperature are more stable and deep space becomes a constant backdrop. There, a telescope is not just mirrors and sensors. It is a machine for counting, comparing, noticing what changes. Its wide-field instrument, with hundreds of millions of pixels, is designed for a kind of truth that does not arrive as an iconic image, but as a distribution, a correlation, a minute deviation from a model. And this is precisely what makes Roman unsettling. The wider your view, the more you discover that the universe is not an object to contemplate, but a process unfolding before your eyes. Take dark matter. You do not see it. You do not photograph it. You recognize it because it bends light, because it turns the space between you and a distant galaxy into an imperfect lens. It is a subtle effect. Background galaxies stretch ever so slightly, their orientation shifts by a fraction. If you observe a single field, you can convince yourself of anything. If you observe millions, the distortion becomes a signature. Roman was built for this. To make measurable what, to the naked eye, is indistinguishable from chance. A map of weak lensing is not a romantic image. It is an X-ray of gravity, a chart of the invisible weight that structures the universe on immense scales. And then there is dark energy, the greatest contradiction in modern cosmology. The universe is not just expanding. It is accelerating. It is as if gravity, instead of slowing things down, has handed the wheel to something that pushes outward. The temptation is to look for a single cause, a particle, a field, a correction to general relativity. But the cosmos does not grant you a laboratory test. It gives you 3 clues and challenges you to make them fit: the growth of structures, the geometry across vast distances, and the history of expansion reconstructed through standard candles, like type Ia supernovae. Roman does not choose one path. It follows them all, and for that very reason, it may deepen the mystery rather than reduce it. Because if the 3 clues do not agree, you will not get a simpler answer. You will have proof that the question itself was flawed. Here is where the most underestimated factor enters: time. Roman is not just a powerful eye fixed on the past. It is also a system that returns to the same sky, again and again, searching for what appears and disappears. Supernovae that flare and fade. Transients that last days or hours. Events that leave behind no stable object to study, only a flash that, if missed, is gone. A deep telescope can do wonders on a chosen target. A wide telescope can capture the unexpected. And in astronomy, the unexpected is often where physics stops being comfortable. There is also a more technical but decisive detail. Roman is designed to produce an enormous stream of data, on the order of hundreds of terabytes per year. This volume is not a luxury. It is the price of statistics. Every additional pixel is another chance to detect a tiny distortion, a brief change, or rare alignment. But every additional chance is also a new way to be wrong. Systematic errors, selection biases, galaxies confused with one another, supernovae assigned to the wrong host, variables mistaken for transients, and above all, a cognitive problem. When the sky becomes a mine of events, the question is no longer, what is out there? But, what do I choose to call a discovery? And the answer is never neutral. That is why, more telescopes does not equal less mystery. An observatory like Roman does not promise a single revelation. It promises a change of regime. Mystery does not vanish. It spreads. It fragments into thousands of small anomalies that, taken one by one, seem like details, but together can force you to rewrite the structure of cosmic history. And while public attention looks for the definitive image, the one that seems to close an era, Roman prepares a different kind of vertigo. One in which the answer is a curve, a map, a statistic that offers no comfort, because it tells you the universe is coherent only until you observe it well enough to find where it still is not. What if the real target were not the most distant, but the most frequent, the most widespread, the almost identical, that differs by the slightest amount? Because it is precisely in that sliver of difference that dark energy may hide its identity, dark matter its face, and cosmology its next departure from what we believe to be inevitable. In essence, Roman does not merely widen the telescope's field. It widens the field of responsibility. It forces physics to explain not a special case, but the entire average behavior of the universe, and to do so while the universe continues to produce exceptions, as if to remind you that the rule is always provisional, and that statistics are only an elegant way of chasing the unknown. When a telescope becomes a survey machine, the sky changes identity. It is no longer a collection of objects. It is a dynamic system, a set of populations that grow, collapse, explode, merge. Roman is built to turn this dynamism into comparable numbers, and precisely for that reason it is scientifically dangerous, because it makes falsifiable what was once merely plausible. If cosmic acceleration were truly a constant energy of the vacuum, then the geometry of distances and the growth of structures should tell the same story. If instead it were a signal of modified gravity, then you might measure a fracture between how matter clusters and how light travels. This is not an academic detail. It is a difference that changes the list of things that exist in the universe. That is why the wide field is a double-edged blade. It gives you statistical power, but exposes you to new fragilities. A single bias in the instrument, a slightly off calibration, an imperfectly modeled optical distortion, and the entire result can bend in the wrong direction before you even notice. That is why Roman is not just hardware. It is method. It is cross-checking. It is redundancy. It is the art of asking the same sky the same question in 3 different ways, and still distrusting the answer until you understand why the 3 answers resemble one another. The paradox is that certainty is born from doubt, not from trust. Within that doubt lies another theme that rarely enters popular narratives: the competition among mysteries. Dark energy demands measurements on cosmic scales. Dark matter demands maps of gravity. Supernovae demand time monitoring. Transients demand speed and coverage. Exoplanets, in Roman's case, demand patience and enormous numbers, because one of its most intriguing promises comes through microlensing. A distant planet is not seen directly, but reveals itself by briefly warping the light of a background star, like a grain disturbing a perfectly smooth surface. It is a short, rare signal. But in a crowded field, observed continuously, these events become a statistic. And a statistic, once again, does not give you a face. It gives you a frequency. It tells you how common something is that, in your mind, you would prefer to encounter as an exception. Then there is the most ambitious and delicate part, the coronagraph technology demonstration, a device capable of masking the blinding light of a star to try to isolate the faint glow of what orbits around it or the dust disks that surround it. It is not the definitive coronagraph that will answer the question of life elsewhere. It is an experimental step, a rehearsal at the edge. But it is also a philosophical reminder. Modern astronomy does not just discover new things. It discovers new ways of not being deceived by light. And often progress lies in subtraction, not addition. Blocking a star to see its surroundings. Removing glare to measure shadow. Now return to the apparent slogan, more telescopes, less mystery. Roman refutes it elegantly. Because its contribution is not a single extraordinary object, but an ecosystem of results that feed into one another. If it finds thousands of supernovae, every deviation from the expected curve may hint at the physics of the explosion or the evolution of host galaxies, and thus become a new systematic error to understand before speaking about dark energy. If it produces maps of extremely weak lensing, every small tension with other experiments may be dark matter with non-standard properties, or a problem in modeling galaxies, or both. If it records unexpected transients, it may discover new classes of phenomena, or simply new ways in which the sky deceives our algorithms. In every case, the mystery does not shrink. It changes shape, and often becomes more demanding. And there is one final consequence, subtler, almost psychological. Roman forces the scientific community to shift its attention from singular discoveries to distributed ones. This means that many turning points will not arrive as sudden news, but as an accumulation of evidence. A growing tension, a curve that refuses to fit, a correlation that survives every correction. It is a different kind of suspense. Not the plot twist, but the crack slowly widening in the model until the model can no longer hold. For this reason, in 2026, when Roman begins sending its river of measurements back to Earth, we will not witness a simple reduction of the unknown. We will witness a transformation of the unknown into something more measurable, and, precisely for that reason, harder to ignore. And when something becomes measurable, it can also become contradictory. Science does not fear darkness. It fears discordance. Because discordance is the signal that the universe is not merely hiding details. It is denying one of our fundamental assumptions. In the end, Roman's most powerful promise is not to show us a more beautiful sky. It is to force us to choose between incompatible explanations. Dark energy as a new physical component, or gravity that changes on cosmic scales. Dark matter as a particle, or as an emergent phenomenon tied to the geometry of space. Expansion as a linear history, or as a story with chapters we have not yet learned to read. And in that moment, it will be clear why more telescopes does not mean less mystery, because a truly effective telescope does not close questions. It makes them precise enough to be frightening. If you've made it this far, it means you love curiosity as much as we do. If you enjoyed this journey, leave a like, write a comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support what we do. Your presence truly makes a difference. See you on the next exploration.